The Friday Night Fun Net is on the air. Good evening, everybody. It's 8 o'clock. And welcome to the Friday Night Fun Net on the W9AXD repeater in Rockford. My name is Jim. My call is K9GCR. I'm located here in Freeport. I'll be your net control station this evening. The purpose of having this net is what the name implies, to have fun. This is what this hobby of amateur radio is all about, in addition to providing emergency communications when the situation warrants. A secondary purpose of this net is providing an on-air meeting place for all amateur radio operators. Everybody's welcome to check in. You do not have to be a member of any club, organization, group, or association to participate in this net. All you need is a valid FCC license. This net meets each and every Friday evening at 8 p.m. This repeater is a PL 114.8 minus offset. You need to have that programmed into your radio in order to have access to the repeater. For those of you who may be using older radios that do not have PL capability, or if the PL on your radio is not working properly, you can check into the Friday Night Fun Net by using the repeater output frequency, the straight 610 simplex. If I hear you, I will acknowledge you and check you in the net. Also, if you're on the sticks, if you're able to hear the repeater, but you can't get to it due to conditions or you're too far away from it, you can give me a call on the Friday Night Fun Net Central Hotline, area code 815-232-FNFN, 232-3636, the local Freeport number. I'll take your check-in over the phone, but to try to check it on the radio if at all possible. I did have one early bird check-in, and he checked it on the hotline. That was Pat, KF9SD in Warren, Illinois. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to take a short time remote stations. For those of you who can't stay for the net, you got family time, you'd rather concentrate, you're driving, you got something else going on, we'll take your short time remote check-ins. If you have traffic, we'll do your traffic right away. After we get done with short time remote stations, we'll take general check-ins. First, we'll take general check-ins from northern Illinois. Next, we'll take general check-ins from southern Wisconsin. After that, we'll take general check-ins from anywhere in northern Illinois or southern Wisconsin. When you check in, say whether or not you have traffic. Your traffic consists of breakfast, bike rides, marathons, or ham fests. Okay, then we'll do our regular features. We'll do the tech net. You have any technical questions? Are you having a problem with your power supply or your amplifier? What kind of an antenna do you want to put up on your tower? You have technical questions, please feel free to ask them, and we'll try our best to answer them for you. Also, we will do the W9, the Gene Duncan, the DX Corner, in honor of our late great friend and colleague, Gene Duncan, W9GD, the king of DX. Every time he checked into this net, he always had DX reports, so this will be definitely looking forward to DX reports tonight. We'll have our swap net. You have items to buy, sell, trade, or want anything related to hobbies, rams, radio, or computers, we'll definitely do that. Okay, the topic for this week, I came up with this topic last night. What was your what subject did you like most when you were in high school? What was your least favorite subject when you were in high school? This was as a result of a discussion which took place on the 195 repair last night after the health and tech net and the cold practice. Things got a little bit hot and heavy there, and I think I misunderstood what was going on. In that case, I want to apologize to Kerry, K9MAP, Larry, AC9GO, and the other Larry, K9KZT, and Rick, K9QDP. I misunderstood. But after listening to that discussion, I'm glad it took place now. So this way I got a topic for tonight's net. Okay, I had 43 check-ins last week, and we had a 2-hour, 15-minute net. We'll see how many check-ins we get tonight and see how long we go. Okay, with all the so-called formalities out of the way, let's get underway. Do we have any short-time remote stations? I'd check tonight's net. Please go on now.
Alpha 9, Victor Uniform. Michael in Janesville. Short time.
KD9 TJL, Tim in Rockford, short time, no traffic.
Hey Jimmy, this is Tom up here in Janesville, WI9 Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. I'm still feeling a little under the weather there, Jimmy, so I'm going to do short time and get out of here tonight. So have a good night there, Jimmy.
Okay, I'm trying to avoid keying up so quickly, so I don't step on anybody who's trying to check in. I got 3 short-time stations checking in. 89VU, Mike in Janesville. Thank you for checking in, Mike. Have a good evening. Enjoy your weekend. KD9TJL, Tim and Rockford. I got you checked in, Tim. Have a good evening, and thank you for checking in. WI9WTF, Tom in Janesville. Sorry to hear you're still under the weather, Tom, but I got you checked in. Thank you for checking in. Have a good evening. Good well soon. Do we have any more short-time mobile stations? I'd like to check tonight's net. Please call now.
K9KZT, Larry. Favorite subject was girls. Back to you, K9KZT 73.
9GCR. This is KD9QVE, Greg and Beloit.
Okay, I'm trying to be careful not to key in the mic so quickly. K9KCT, Larry, the king of CW, got you checked in. Larry, thank you for checking in. 73, enjoy your evening. KD9QVE, Greg and Boyd, got you checked in short time. You have a good evening. Thank you for checking in. Any more short time on low stations? Friday Night Fun Net. Please call now.
KD9QVB, Brian and Roscoe, checking in short time, no traffic.
K9QVB, Brian and Boyd, got you checked, and then Brian, I've got 73, have a good evening, and thank you for checking in. Any more short time mobile stations for the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. Okay, let's move on to general check-ins. At this time, I will now take general check-ins from Northern Illinois. Would like to check the Friday Night Fun Net this time. Please call now.
Kilo Delta 9 Mike Echo Delta, Mike and Rochelle.
In Roscoe.
K9HKX, Larry and Roscoe, I've got you checked in. I'll get back to you a few minutes roundtable. Thank you for checking in. There was another station trying to check in. Another station, come back, please.
Kilo Delta 9 Mike Echo Delta, Mike and Rochelle.
KD9MED, Mike and Rochelle, he is recording this net for future rebroadcast on the Friday Night Fun Net Facebook page. This is the Friday Night Fun Net for Friday, October 15th, 2021, by the way. Okay, Mike, thank you for checking in. I'll get back to you a few minutes at the roundtable. Any more general check-ins from Northern Illinois for the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now.
AC9NW, Tom and Roscoe.
This is K9GCR, the Friday Night Fun Net on the W9AXC repeater in Rockford, transmitting for Friday Night Fun Net Central and Freeport. AC9NW, Tom and Roscoe. I've got you checked in, Tom. I'll get back to you a few minutes roundtable. Thank you for checking in. Any more general check-ins from Northern Illinois for the Friday night fun net? Please go on.
Number 9, Golf Bravo Papa, Greg in Rockford.
N9GBP, Greg and Robert got you checked in. Greg, I'll get back to you a few minutes to roundtable. Thank you for checking in. There was another station trying to check in too. Other station, come back, please.
KC9QPO, Paul No Sparta.
Okay, once again, I'm trying to avoid stepping on people. That's why, sorry for the delay in coming back. KC9QPL, Paul in Loves Park, I've got you checked in, Paul. I'll get back to you a few minutes around table. Thank you for checking in. Any more general check-ins from Northern Illinois for the Friday night fun net? Please call now. This is KC9GCR, net control of the Friday night fun net. So, okay, well, any more stations from Northern Illinois you wish to check in at this time? Please call now.
KD9MAP, Cary in Rockford.
Okay, the KD9MAP, Cary and Robert have got you checked in, Cary. I'll get back to you a few minutes around table. Thank you for checking in. Any more general check-ins from Northern Illinois who wish to check in the Friday night fun net this time? Please call now.
November 9, Chicago Northwestern, Mark in Rockford, no traffic.
Okay, N9CNW, Mark and the Robert got you checked in. Mark, I'll get back to you a few minutes around table. Thank you for checking in. Any more general check-ins from Northern Illinois for the Friday night fun net? Please call now. Okay, we usually get a good turnout from Northern Illinois. Let's see if we just as good a turnout from Southern Wisconsin. 8 stations in Southern Wisconsin would like to check in the Friday night fun net this time. Please go now.
KC9RGG, Norm in Orfordville, Wisconsin.
Okay, KC9RGG, Norm in Orfordville, Wisconsin. Okay, Norm, I've got you checked in. I'll get back to you a few minutes around table. Thank you for checking in. Any more general check-ins from Southern Wisconsin for the Friday night fun net? Please call now. Well, it is Friday night fish Friday night in Wisconsin. Everybody's at their favorite bar, restaurant, tavern, eating their catfish, buffalo, carp, bullhead, northern pike, walleye, muskie, or crappie. Those of you in the Milwaukee area, you're eating their Polish sausages, hot dogs, brats, kielbasa, and Braunschweiger. Boy, that was sure a shocker about what happened to the Brewers. There, that's too bad. I sure would have loved to see them go to the World Series and win it. You don't know how many more years Bob Uecker will be around to see it. So, okay. And those of you that cheese lovers, read some of that famous Wisconsin cheese. Okay, at this time, I will take check-ins from anywhere in Northern Illinois or Southern Wisconsin for the Friday night fun net. Please call now. Okay, we'll go to, let's see. We'll get to the traffic portion. The only traffic I have, we had our monthly meeting, the Steam Scott Repair Association, this past Saturday, last Saturday at the Freeport Public Library. We had about 10 or 11 people show up. It was a good meeting. It lasted 45 minutes. It was a interesting discussions, and that was about it there. So, okay, does anybody else have any traffic you'd like to pass along for the net at this time? All right, let's go ahead with the TechNet portion. Are you having a problem with your power supply or amplifier? What kind of an antenna do you want to put up on your tower? If you have any technical questions, please feel free to ask them, and we'll do our best to answer them for you. Does anybody have any technical questions they'd like to bring before the net? Okay, nobody seems to have any technical questions, so we'll move on to the W9 Duncan DX corner. This is in honor of our late great friend and colleague Gene Duncan, W9GD, the king of DX. Every time you check this net, you always had a DX report there. So, okay, at this time, does anybody have any DX reports they'd like to bring before the net? Okay, K9MAP, Kerry, do you usually have a DX report? Do you have one for this week? So go ahead.
This is KD9MAP. Thank you, Jimmy. Good evening, everybody. I only worked U.S. stations this week, Jimmy. I only got on a couple of times. And the most notable one was when I was testing the 40-meter hamstick dipole. I set that up in my backyard about 7 feet off the ground on a tripod. And with that, I worked W7WM in Monument, Colorado. Had about 30 watts forward power. KD9MAP.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. I haven't heard anything, but as far as I know, I believe the New York QSO party is this weekend. Have you heard anything?
Yes, it is, and also the Illinois QSO party is this weekend. However, as I recall from looking at the calendar, they are both of short duration. You know, like one's only 18 hours and the other one's only 12 hours. So you'll have to go online and look up the exact hourly schedule for that. Both New York and Illinois this weekend. KD9MAP.
Okay, sounds good, Kerry. Well, here's let's see. I think they're usually on in the mornings or in the afternoons from years past there. So, okay, last Saturday I made 5 contacts with the stations, all in Pennsylvania, the Pennsylvania QSO party. Let's see. November 3, Oscar Hotel India was not participating in that QSO party, so that was at 17:06 hours. Then at 17:42 hours, I worked November 3 Victor Zulu. He was part of the Pennsylvania QSO party, and then at 19:18 hours, Kilo Charlie 3 Bravo Sierra Alpha, the Pennsylvania QSO party, and 1928 Alpha 3 Bravo at the Pennsylvania QSO party, and the last one was Kilo 3 WW, Kilo 3 Whiskey. We're at 21.57 hours, and the Pennsylvania QSO party. So those are the stations that I work from Pennsylvania. We'll see how many stations I pick up from New York tomorrow.
Congratulations on those contacts, Jimmy. Yeah, it's funny how when the shiny spot in the ionosphere gets to just exactly the right place, you start getting a lot of contacts from the same locality right in a row, bing, 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 like that. Congratulations, KD9MAP.
Okay, sounds good. You're welcome, Gary. Sounds good. Thanks. Does anybody else have any DX reports for the W9GD DX Corps? Okay, I copied this from the ARRL Operator's Handbook. This is the DX Code of Conduct. So I wrote down. I'm gonna read it to you all. So okay, number 1, I will listen and then listen again before calling. Number 2, I will only call if I can copy the DX the station properly. Number 3, I will not trust the DX cluster and will be sure of the DX station's call sign before calling. 4, I will not interfere with the DX station nor anyone calling and will never tune up on the DX frequency or in the QSX slot. 5, I will wait for the DX station to end a contact before I call. 6, I will always send my full call sign. Let me reset. 7, I will call and then listen for a reasonable interval. I will not call continuously. 8, I will not transmit when the DX operator calls another call sign, not mine. 9, I will not transmit when the DX operator queries a call sign, not like mine. 10, I will not transmit when the DX station requests geographic areas other than mine. 11, when the DX operator calls me, I will not repeat my call sign unless I think he has copied it incorrectly. 12, I will be thankful if and when I do make a contact. And number 13, I will respect my fellow hams and conduct myself so as to earn their respect. That's the DX Code of Conduct.
That's a really good code, and I'd like to add one, please.
Sure, go ahead.
Whenever you work a DX QSO, make sure to send a confirmation. The way they used to do it was with paper QSL cards, and of course that gets expensive and cumbersome. But you can do it for free over databases like Logbook of the World and QRZ.com. But I think that's an important part of the DXing experience is to provide confirmation. KD9MAP.
Gary, I think you are absolutely correct. You are absolutely right. You should make a contact, send a QSL card or some message telling you that you confirmed a contact with that station. I have several QSL cards from way back in the early days when my as a ham radio operator. I think my very first one was from Morocco, Wisconsin. We were talking on 146.52. I got several other ones too. Also, next week I'll try to have the contesters a code of ethics written out so I can read that too.
Oh, that sounds good. I haven't seen that one yet. I'm looking forward to it. KD9MAP.
Okay, sounds good, Kerry. Like I said, they're both. I found them both in the ARRL operator's manual there. So, okay, thanks, Kerry. Any more stations want to check into the? Let's try this again. Any stations have any DX reports you'd like to pass along? Okay, let's move on to the swap net. Now, all items you bought, sold, or traded must be related to the hobbies of amp radio or computers. All items you bought, sold, or traded must be the property of or in possession of the person who wants to get rid of the stuff. You may mention the price over the air, but any haggling should be done either in person or over the telephone. Also, no commercial business of any kind is allowed. Does any station have any swap net traffic at this time? Please call now.
AC9GOL.
Okay, KC9GOL. Okay, Jimmy, let me check your internet. KC9GOL. Okay, okay, hold on. KC9GOL. Okay, Jimmy, what do you got for us?
Well, good evening, Jimmy, and the rest of the net. I have approximately 23 feet of aluminum tubing for a vertical antenna. It actually looks to be an antenna, but I can't be sure all the parts are there. So I'm going to say, hey, this is tubing, and it's for somebody who's maybe working on an antenna or planning to work on an antenna, and it's free. It's all you have to do is take it away. The package that it's in is, or with the pieces all tied together like they are, it basically is about 13 feet long, and there's plenty of rope in there to tie it onto your vehicle. Telephone number 779-537-2233. 779-537-2233. And guys, basically this is going to disappear. Either a ham gets it who's going to use it, or the scrappers are going to get it. So it's free for the taking. Come and get it. KC9GOL, back to net.
Okay, Jimmy, thanks for bringing that traffic. Jimmy, KC9GOL is trying to get rid of 20 feet of aluminum tubing. If you can use it for an antenna or any old thing there. It's free. It's 13 feet long. You can contact them at area code 779. Area code 779-537-2233. Area code 779-537-2233. Does anybody have any questions for Jimmy? Okay, Jimmy. Hopefully your phone rings off the hook. So that's thank you for checking in and bringing that swap net traffic. I got you checked in that. We'll get back to you in a few minutes to the round table. And thank you for checking in and bringing in that swap net traffic. Does any other station have any swap net traffic you'd like to pass along? Okay, just one moment, please, while I get all my papers straightened out here. All right. Okay, I believe that's it. Let's get everything put away here to do it right here. So I don't want a messy desk here. So okay. Before we get to the round table, are there any more stations who want to check in the Friday Night Fun Net this time? Please call now.
KD9 SBA. Matt from Stillman Valley. Mobile, short time for now at least.
KD9 SBA. Okay, you're mobile, you're short time. Okay, I'm going to start the round table off anyway with you. We're talking about what was your favorite subject when you were in high school? What was your least favorite subject? Which subject did you hate when you were in high school?
KD9 SBA. I would have to say my least favorite was math. I just never been real great at it. Favorite subject was probably Any of the sciences, but I was in a lot of ag classes. I always remember those being fun. Anyway, KD9SBA, back to net.
Okay, man, that sounds good. Thank you for checking the Friday Night Fun Net. Drive safely, and we'll talk to you down the log. Thank you for checking in. Okay, let's start off. KD9HKX, Lauren Roscoe. What was your favorite subject when you were in high school, and what was your least favorite subject when you were in high school?
KC9GCR, KD9HKX. Good evening, Jim, and good evening, everyone else in the net. Favorite subjects, two of them would be chemistry and physics. Probably math would have been running third to those. And the least favorite, absolute least favorite, was gym class. The PE teacher was the head football coach. So if you weren't on the football team, why, you just were, you just weren't worth even having around. So that was my least favorite class. So I'll turn back to you, Jim. KC9GCR, KD9HKX.
I'll tell you what. I think it was my junior year in high school, I believe, or senior year. One of my PE teachers was Nate Johnson, longtime football coach at Freeport High School. Well, he was a joy. But I'll tell you what, he can crack the whip sometime. If he saw anybody he was screwed up, that was for sure. Okay, Larry, thank you for checking in to the Friday Night Fun Net. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your weekend. Oh, by the way, yes, I forgot. Later on during the night, we're going to do Friday Night Fun Net trivia. I'll read questions from ARRL's Tech General and Extra Q&A books there. So we'll do that later on in the net. Mike, K9MED, who's recording this net for rebroadcast on Friday Night Fun Net Facebook page. What was your favorite subject in high school, and what was your least favorite subject?
KD9MED here. Let's see. Good question. Absolutely loved science and chemistry. Math was okay, but for God's sakes, I stumbled through history class. I just did not interest me one bit. This is KD9MED. Back to net.
Okay, so I'm good. I enjoyed history class and government classes and civics. Those are my favorite subjects back then. Math was my least favorite. That's for sure. Okay, Mike, thank you for checking in. Thank you for all you do there too. So okay, AC9NW, Tom and Roscoe, what's going on with you? What was your favorite subject in high school? What was your least favorite subject?
This is AC9NW. My favorite was science of any kind, whatever type of science it was. And my least favorite was English literature. We had to memorize a long poem in Old English that sounded like a foreign language, and I hated that. AC9NW, back to net.
Oh, yeah, the King's English. I know where you're coming from. Okay, Tom, hey, thank you for checking the Friday Night Fun Net, participating in the round table. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your weekend. N9GBP, Greg in Rockford. What's going on with you? What was your favorite subject in high school? What was your least favorite subject?
N9GBP here. Oh boy, my favorite subjects, I loved all the science classes, and later on when I was taking computer classes, those were good too. Now, as far as the least favorite, that had to be English.
Okay, sounds good. I can go on with you on that. So, okay, thank you for checking in, Greg, and stick around. We're going to do trivia pretty soon here. Okay, Paul, K9QPL in the Loves Park. What's going on with you? What was your favorite subject in high school? What was your least favorite subject?
This is KC9QPL. Well, my favorite was shop, where we did all kinds of woodwork, metalwork, and that kind of stuff. And I guess The least would be history. I had a problem with that. We'll say 73 and be clear.
Okay, sounds good, Paul. Hey, thank you for checking the Friday Night Fun Net. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your weekend. We'll definitely catch you on the Monday night rah-rah info net here. So, okay, thank you for checking in. Before I continue, this is Case on GCR, Net Control of the Friday Night Fun Net. Do we have any more stations who'd like to check in at this time? Please call now.
AC9DDF, just going to be in and out, Jimmy.
AC9DDF, John and Elgin. Okay, before I let you go, what was your favorite subject in high school? What was your least favorite subject?
Okay, yeah, I don't know if I had a favorite subject. I guess I liked art and, I don't know, not too many favorites there. Math, to some extent, even though I didn't do a lot of math. I did not like history. Seemed like I took a chemistry class, didn't like that. So, yeah, kind of hit or miss on those things, Jimmy. But hey, have a great weekend. Repeater sounds good down here in Elgin, KC9DDF. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, this is the second week in a row we use this repeater. This is great. Let's hope it continues. Thank you for checking in, John, KC9DDF. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your weekend. Okay, let's go on. This is KC9GCR, Net Control and Friday Night Fun Net. My favorite subjects in high school, U.S. history, let's see, well, world history, I got that my sophomore year. And it was back then, Freeport High School. See, I attended Freeport High School from 1964 to 1967. Year I graduated. At that time, Freeport High School was a 3-year high school. Several years ago, it went back to being a 4-year high school. When the junior high school was built back in the early 50s, it took over the freshman class. Then many years later, the freshman class was reinstated. But anyway, I took world history in my sophomore year. Let's see, U.S. history in my junior year, and government class in my senior year. Those were my favorites. The least favorite subjects were, math. I had a hard time in math. I flunked math my sophomore year. My counselor told me I didn't have to take math my junior year, but I had to take it again my senior year in order to graduate. So I took consumer math, and I almost failed that course. If I would have, I would not have been able to graduate. But by the grace of God, I did. I flunked family living back in my senior year, but it was an elective course, not a required course. So, that's the way it went. I also liked the boys' the glee club when I was in my sophomore and junior year. So, that was great. So, okay. Okay, you've heard enough of my high school days, so let's go to Carrie, K9MAP. Carrie, what was your favorite subject in high school? What was your least favorite subject?
My favorite subject was chemistry, and my least favorite subject was phys ed. I've had a lifelong interest in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. 89 MAP.
Okay, Terry, sounds good. Okay, then, thank you for checking in, and I'm sure we'll hear from you during the trivia segment in a few minutes. Okay. N9CNW. Mark, what's going on with you? What was your favorite subject in high school? What was your least favorite subject?
Good evening, Jimmy, and everybody on the net. N9CNW here. All my favorite subjects were business classes that I took as elective, business management and salesmanship. And my least favorite probably would have been history. I had a kind of a grumpy old gal, and oddly enough, she even wrote the history book that we used in school. So she knew it all, and if you didn't get it right, she let you know about it. November 9, Chicago Northwestern, back to that.
This is case on GCR, the Friday Night Fun Net on the W9AXD repeated route for transferring from Friday Night Fun Net Center in Freeport. Okay, Mark, I can go on with you on that. Sounds good. Okay, thanks. Thank you for checking in. I almost forgot to my government teacher my senior year was William Chance. At that time, he was the baseball coach at Freeport High. I'll tell you what, he had a rule. If you were not in your seat by the time the bell rang, you were in the classroom. But if you were not sitting at your seat by the time when the bell rang, you were considered as tardy. He put you down that way too. Okay, let's go on with Norm. Case 9 RGG in Orbertville. Norm, what was your favorite subject in high school? What was your least favorite subject?
KC9GCR, KC9RGG. Thanks, Jim, and welcome to everybody on the net. My favorite subject was physics. I just loved physics, and my worst subject was physical education. I just absolutely hated that. I think these were the same choices that KD9HKX made, so I joined him in his feelings.
Okay, Norm. Sounds good. I did not take PE until my, I think it was towards the end of my sophomore year in high school. I was not able to participate in PE because I had a hernia. But I had an operation back when I was 16 years old. I had surgery to correct that problem. Therefore, I was able to participate in the PE classes there in high school. So, okay, Norm, 7-3, thank you for checking in. I'm going to let you go so you can hit the sack. Enjoy your evening and enjoy your weekend. Okay, Jimmy, case 9GOL. What was your favorite subject in high school? What was your least favorite subject?
Well, good evening, Jimmy and the rest of the net. This is KC9GOL. I want to thank everybody for listening to me talk about the aluminum tubing, but it is already gone. I repeat, it is already spoken for and gone. Let's see, worst subject or subjects. Latin was taught for one semester, and I had to take it. And that and probably detention were my two worst classes. And like everybody else, the sciences and most everything else, I enjoyed, or I had a good time at it if I couldn't enjoy it. So that's it, Jimmy. KC9GOL.
Detention was your worst, the subject. Okay. I never served a detention there, but I think I know where you're coming from. Okay. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you for checking in. I'm glad that stuff went. See, I said these swap nets definitely work. That's for sure. So congratulations on getting rid of that stuff. Okay, that concludes my list. Do we have any more stations you want to check at the Friday Night Fun Net? If you're coming home with your Friday night fish fry, steak fry, grocery shopping, or the show, if you just turn your radio on, you've been copying mail for the last 45 minutes, this is your chance of checking the Friday Night Fun Net from anywhere in the region. With drop traffic, please call K9GCR. Okay, one moment, please, while I get all my papers straightened out here. I'm trying to have a clutter-free desk, if you know what I mean. Okay. Well, with that, oh yes, that reminds me. in 2 weeks from tonight, we're going to have a special Halloween edition of the Friday Night Fun Net. It'll be on Friday, October 29th. I'm going to ask everybody if they're planning on going out trick-or-treating, or what is your favorite memories of the holiday, or what have you there. But I'll tell you what, this is a Halloween radio nut joke, courtesy of Steve, W9WFM. I haven't talked to him in a cool in. He sure has disappeared. But here, anyway, you know you're a radio nut when every Halloween you dress up as Gordon West. You have a homemade Halloween radio nut joke or any radio nut joke you want to pass along, just let me know here on the radio or on the Friday Night Fun Net hotline. The homemade radio nut jokes are better than the 30 original ones anyway. So, okay. Here's one from Mike, AC9JZ. You know you're a radio nut when the ETs use your radio as a homing device. Okay, sounds good. Any more stations I'd like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. Okay. Now we're going to get into a Friday Night Fun Net trivia. This is where I read questions from ARRL's Tech General Nixer Q&A books. This is really for the benefit of those people who are studying for their first ham radio license. They're listening to this net on a scanner, so they're trying to get an idea of what this hobby sounds like. And of course, other people listen because they can't listen to police communications unless you have a very expensive digital scanner. You can still monitor fire and EMS frequencies, though. So this is what I do. Okay. Let me get organized here. Oh boy, I got a problem here. One moment, please. All right, here we go. Okay. Those of you who work CW should know the correct answer to this question by heart. Which of the following VHF, UHF frequency ranges are limited to CW only? A, 50.0 megahertz to 50.1 megahertz and 144.0 megahertz to 144.1 megahertz. B, 219 megahertz to 220 megahertz and 420 megahertz to 420.1 megahertz. C, 902.0 megahertz to 902.1 megahertz. D, all of these choices are correct. Well, this sure a mouthful. Which of the following the VHF, UHF frequency ranges are limited to CW only? A, 50.0 megahertz to 50.1 megahertz and 144.0 to 1 megahertz to 144.1 megahertz. B, 219 megahertz to 220 megahertz and 420.0 megahertz to 420.1 megahertz. C, 902.0 megahertz to 902.1 megahertz. D, all of these choices are correct. Does anybody have a correct answer to this question?
KD9HKX.
Go ahead, Larry.
Well, I know A is correct, but I don't know about the others, so I'll just go with A.
That's a good thing you're going with A, Larry, because you're correct. Which of the following VHF, UHF frequency ranges are limited to CW only? Correct answer is A alpha, 50.0 megahertz to 50.1 megahertz, and 144.0 megahertz to 144.1 megahertz. 97.305 A to C. There is a small CW portion subband occupying the bottom 100 kilohertz of the 6 and 2 meter bands. Radio license manual page at 7-12. So let's find another one here. Okay? Where may SSB phone be used in amateur bands above 50 megahertz? A. Only in subbands allocated to general class or higher licensees. B. Only on repeaters. C. In at least some portion of all these bands. D. On any band as long as power is limited to 25 watts. Where may SSB phone may be used in the amateur bands above 50 megahertz? A. Only in subbands allocated to general class or higher licensees. B. Only on repeaters. C. In at least some portion of all these bands. D. On any band as long as power is limited to 25 watts. Did anybody correct to answer this question?
GOL?
Go ahead, Jimmy.
I am gonna say C. Charlie.
You are correct, Jimmy. You are correct. Where may SSB phone be used in amateur bands above 50 megahertz? Correct answer is C, Charlie. In at least some portion of all these bands. Every amateur band at and above 50 megahertz has frequencies available for CW and SSB operation. Operator license manual page 6-2. All right. Let's see if we can find another one here. Okay. How might fog and light rain affect radio range on the 10 meter and 6 meter bands? A. Fog and rain absorb these wavelength bands. B. Fog and light rain will have little effect on these bands. C. Fog and rain will deflect these signals. D. Fog and rain will increase radio range. How might fog and light rain affect radio range on the 10 meter and 6 meter bands? A. Fog and rain absorb these wavelength bands. B. Fog and light rain will have little effect on these bands. C. Fog and rain will deflect these signals. D. Fog and rain will increase radio range. Does anybody have correct answer to this question? Okay, I'm going to read this question one more time. How might fog and light rain affect radio range on the 10 meter and 6 meter bands? A. Fog and rain absorb these wavelength bands. B. Fog and light rain will have little effect on these bands. C. Fog and rain will deflect these signals. D. Fog and rain will increase radio range. Anybody correct to answer this question?
K89HK.
Go ahead, Larry.
I'll guess. We'll try B.
You are correct, Larry. You are correct. How might fog and light rain affect radio range on the 10 meter and 6 meter bands? Correct answer is B, Bravo. Fog and light rain will have little effect on these bands. Precipitation such as fog and rain can absorb microwave and UHF radio waves, although it has little effect at HF and on the lower VHF band. Time radio license manual page 4-2. All right. Oh boy, I don't want to. Some of these in this section I'm trying to avoid these because I already read them a few weeks ago. Okay, what is the basic unit of inductance? A, the coulomb. B, the farad. C, the Henry. D, the ohm. What is the basic unit of inductance? A, the coulomb. B, the farad, C, the Henry, D, the ohm. Anybody have correct answer to this question?
AC9NW.
AC9NW, go ahead, Tom.
That would be the Henry.
You are correct, Tom. You are correct. What is the basic unit of the inductance? The correct answer is C, Charlie, the Henry. It refers to another question, but we're gonna skip that. We're gonna move on to another one. Okay, let's see. Oh, I read that one. I don't want to read that one again. Oh God. Okay, what does the abbreviation FET stand for? A, field effect transistor. B, fast electron transistor. C, free electron transmitter. D, frequency emission transmitter. What does the abbreviation FET stand for? A, field effect transistor. B, fast electron transistor. C, free electron transmitter. D, frequency emission transmitter. Does anybody correct answer this question?
GOL.
Go ahead, Jerry. K-sign GOL, go ahead.
That will be A, alpha, field effect transistor.
You are correct, Jimmy. You are correct. What does the abbreviation FET stand for? Correct answer is A, alpha, field effect transistor. There are two common types of transistors: bipolar junction transistors, BJT, and field effect transistors, FET. Hammer the license manual, page 3-12. All right. Find another one here. Okay. Okay. Which of the following measurements are commonly made using a multimeter? A, SWR and RF power. B, signal strength and noise. C, impedance and reactance. D, voltage and resistance. Which of the following measurements are commonly made using a multimeter? A, SWR and RF power. B, signal strength and noise. C, impedance and reactance. D, voltage and resistance. Anybody have a correct answer to this question?
AC9NW.
AC9NW, go ahead.
There would be D, voltage and resistance.
Okay, let's see, there was another station trying to get in there. I want to be fair to everybody here. Other station, what do you say?
K89EPZ. No, I say voltage and resistance.
You are both correct. Al and Tom, you are both correct. Which of the following measurements are commonly made using a multimeter? The correct answer is B, the D delta voltage and resistance. The multimeter measures all three primary electrical values of voltage, current, and resistance. Hammer the license man on page 3-4. Okay, Al, K9EPZ. Well, let me check you in here. What's going on with you? And, by the way, people, let me reset. People, this coming Sunday, Al is going to have an antenna party at his QTH. You're not doing it after you get home from church Sunday morning. Make every effort to go down to Rochelle and help Al get his antenna, this HF antenna back up and running, and get his other antenna back to where it was before the Dre show came. He needs some assistance. I understand there's going to be some members of the Kitchwaukee Amateur Radio Club that's going to help him out. But please, let's not sit home and let all the guys do the work. You go down there and help him out. Okay. Again, the antenna party is going to take place this coming Sunday at his QTH. Those of you who know how to get a hold of Al, get a hold of him and get more information. Okay. Al, K9EPZ, the question that tonight, I'm asking everybody, what was your favorite subject when you were in high school? What was your least favorite subject when you were in high school?
Favorite subjects, anything involving science. Used to love science, also mathematics, because you got to know math in order to do science, or to do electronics. So, you know, anything in there. I hated things like English and, you know, and composition stuff. I hated anything that had to do with writing. I still hate to write. It was so nice when they came up with voice recognition.
Okay, Al. Okay, sounds good there. Hey, I was able to listen to the night watch, and that I was able to, most of the time I was able to stay in, but there are several times it cut out. So we'll see what happens in about another hour.
I haven't heard anything on the 440 tonight, but I will tell you, I'm getting long distance stations on my UHF television channels. I did a rescan, and I'm getting Quad Cities and Madison and Milwaukee. So I think UHF's open.
Well, that's terrific. That's terrific. I'll tell you what. Back in the day, before the Rockford TV stations came on there, that's what we used to pick up. Of course, it was on the old VHF channels there. We were able to pick up Chicago and Milwaukee. That was the early days of TV before the Rockford stations came on there. So okay, I know all about that. So that's hey, let's hope it continues there for your sake. Okay, Al, thank you for checking in. Okay. Any more stations want to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. Okay, I'm going to read one more question on the technicians pool here. Let's see. Okay. All right. What is the maximum power level that an amateur radio station may use at VHF frequencies before an RF exposure evaluation is required? A. 1500 watts PEP transmitter output. B. 1 watt forward power. C. 50 watts PEP at the antenna. D. 50 watts PEP reflected power. What is the maximum power level that an amateur radio station may use at the VHF frequencies before an RF exposure evaluation is required? A. 1500 watts PEP transmitter output. B. 1 watt forward power. C. 50 watts PEP at the antenna. D. 50 watts PEP reflected power. Anybody have a correct answer to this question?
K89HKX.
Go ahead, Larry.
C. Charlie.
You are correct, Larry. You are correct. What is the maximum power level that an amateur radio station may use at VHF frequencies below an RF exposure evaluation is required? Correct answer is C. Charlie. 50 watts PEP at the antenna. If the transmitter power, using PEP in parentheses, to the antenna is less than the level shown in the following table, we won't worry about that. On the frequencies at which you operate, then no evaluation is required. Ham Radio License Manual, page 9-14. Okay. This concludes the technicians portion of Friday Night Fun Net Trivia. Before we continue, are there any more stations you'd like to check in at this time? Please call now.
EOL with comment.
Say that again.
This is KC9GOL. And while you have Al on the air there, why don't you have him give his information on how to find his place, okay?
I think you got a good idea there, Jim. Al, K9EPC, why don't you let everybody know, those coming, how to get your QTA?
Okay, well, it depends where they're coming from. I live roughly 2 miles west of Route 251 on Flag Road. This is where the entrance to the mobile home park where I am is. So, whatever way you want to come from Rockford, you can come 39 and I take 39 to 64 to 251, or you can just take 251 straight out of Rockford. And Flag Road is the first traffic light after you go through Hillcrest on 251. It's the first traffic light you'll get to after coming through Hillcrest is Flag Road. And you take a left, or you take a right, what am I saying? You take a right, you go down just about 2 miles on your left, and there's a street called Rolling Green Lane, and that's the entrance to the mobile home park. And you go up that road, you get up to the office, and there to the left, the first street on your left is Meadowland Drive, which is my street, and I'm the last mobile home on the right.
Okay, Jimmy, did you get that? Did you copy that?
Okay, let's see if I've got this. Basically, we're looking for Flag Road, and going west of 251 about 2 miles. Rolling Green Lane will be the entrance into the trailer park. And then as soon as we go into the park, I don't remember if it was left or right, but it was Meadowland Drive, and then it's the last trailer on the right, correct?
East Meadowland. If you go right, it'll be West Meadowland. And I'm the last trailer on the right on East Meadowland. I'm in a corner lot. So it's actually the corner of Meadowland Drive, East Meadowland and Field Court, and I'm on the corner.
Okay, I copied that. This is KC9GOL, back to net.
Okay, people, you're not doing anything on Sunday afternoons after you get home from church. You get you get your rear ends down to the Al's QTH and help them out there. Help them get back on there on HF and get his antenna, his 2-meter antenna system back to where it was before the derecho. Okay, let's continue on with the trivia segment. We're in the general portion now. When general class licensees are not permitted to use the entire voice portion of a band, which portion of the voice segment is generally available to them? A, the lower frequency end. B, the upper frequency end. C, the lower frequency end on frequencies below 7.3 megahertz and the upper end on frequencies above 14.150 megahertz. D, the upper frequency end on frequencies below 7.3 megahertz and the lower end on frequencies above 14.150 megahertz. When general class licensees are not permitted to use the entire voice portion of a band, which portion of the voice segment is generally available to them? A, the lower frequency end. B, the upper frequency end. C, the lower frequency end on frequencies below 7.3 megahertz and the upper end on frequencies above 14.150 megahertz. D, the upper frequency end on frequencies below 7.3 megahertz and the lower end on frequencies above 14.150 megahertz. Anybody correct to answer this question?
89 EPZ.
Go ahead, Al.
B is in Bravo, upper portion of the band. And we're getting together at 9 o'clock on Sunday. I didn't know if I mentioned the time.
Okay, 9 a.m. sharp Sunday morning. Get your rear ends down the road, Shell, the LSQTH place, and help them out. Get them back on there in HF, and get us in the VHF antenna extends back so where it was before the ratio hit. Okay, and now you are correct. You are correct. When general class licensees are not permitted to use the entire voice portion of a band, which portion of the voice segment is generally available through them? Correct answer is B, Bravo, the upper frequency end. If you look at the U.S. amateur band chart available in the... Oh, I'm gonna skip that. I'm not gonna read that. We're gonna move on, find another question here. Oh, next question concerning VE, about the VE testing. I'm not gonna do that. All right. Which mode is most commonly used for voice communications on the 17-meter and 12-meter bands? A, upper sideband. B, lower sideband. C, vestigial sideband. D, double sideband. I think I read this question a couple weeks ago. Which mode is most commonly used for voice communications on the 17-meter and 12-meter bands? A, upper sideband. B, lower sideband. C, vestigial sideband. D, double sideband. Anybody have correct answer to this question? Okay, I'll read this question. I'll give a correct answer. I think I did read this before. Which mode is most commonly used for voice communications on the 17-meter and 12-meter bands? Correct answer is A, alpha, upper sideband. Amateurs normally use the upper sideband for 17 and 12-meter phone operations. General Class License Manual, page 2-9. Find another one here. Okay, those of you who work CW should know the correct answer to this question by heart. What should you do if a CW station sends QRS? A, sense lower. B, change frequency. C, increase your power. D, repeat everything twice. What should you do if a CW station sends QRS? A, sense lower. B, change frequency. C, increase your power. D, repeat everything twice. Anybody have a correct answer to this question?
KD9HKX.
Go ahead, Larry.
Send slower.
You are correct, Larry, you are correct. What should you do if a CW station sends QRS? Correct answer, A, alpha, send slower. QRS is a Q saying, what that means, send slower. To ask if you should send slower, send QRS question mark. Conversely, to increase speed, QRQ is used. AM radio, no. General Class License Manual, page 2-13. I read that question. I'm not reading it again. Good grief. I'm trying to avoid these same questions here, so... Okay, all right. Here's one. Which of the following direct fused power connections would be the best for a 100-watt HF mobile installation? A, to the battery using heavy gauge wire. B, to the alternator or generator using heavy gauge wire. C, to the battery using resistor wire. D, to the alternator or generator using resistor wire. Which of the following direct fuse power connections would be the best for a 100-watt HF mobile installation? A, to the battery using heavy gauge wire. B, to the alternator or generator using heavy gauge wire. C, to the battery using resistor wire. D, to the alternator or generator using resistor wire. Anybody have correct answer to this question?
K89HKX.
Go ahead, Larry.
A, Alpha.
You are correct, Larry, you are correct. Which of the following direct fuse power connections would be the best for a 100-watt HF mobile installation? Correct answer is A, Alpha, to the battery using heavy gauge wire. When you are making the power connections for your 100-watt HF radio or for mobile operation, connect heavy gauge wires directly to the battery terminals. Both leads should have the fuses placed as closest to the battery as possible. General Class License Manual, page 5-21. Okay. One moment, please. I think we're going to do one more question on the general portion here, if I can find it. One moment, please. Alrighty. Sorry about that, folks. We'll find the right question. Alright. Okay. Alright. Here we go. What are the toughest questions in What are the toughest questions in the Tech, General, and Extra Q&A? Your tower questions, of course. Now, I gave you a break last week. I did not read any tower questions. Well, we're going to start, your break is over. Now we're going to start doing tower questions again. Okay. This, you new listeners out there, especially those who are getting your technician's license, but this question is from the General Q&A book. Someday you guys are going to be involved in a tower climbing expedition. You're either going to be climbing the tower or you're going to be part of a ground support crew. This question might put you over the top as far as passing your technician's or general test. By the way, the next VE testing session here in Freeport will be in December. So, okay. Which of these choices should be observed when climbing a tower using a safety belt or harness? A, never lean back and rely on the belt alone to support your weight. B, confirm that the belt is rated for the weight of the climber and that it is within its allowable service life. C, ensure that all heavy tools are securely fastened to the belt D-ring. D, all of these choices are correct. Which of these choices should be observed when climbing a tower using a safety belt or harness? A, never lean back and rely on the belt alone to support your weight. B, confirm that the belt is rated for the weight of the climber and that it is within its allowable service life. C, ensure that all heavy tools are securely fastened to the belt D-ring. D, all of these choices are correct. Anybody have correct answer to this question? People, if you know this, come on. Let's not let one or two people answer these questions. If you know it, come on.
9-0.
Richard, N9CO, go ahead.
I didn't remember, but I think it's the last one. All of them are correct, and you better check with Al and get that clarified. You're not putting up a tower Sunday. You're putting up a push-up So it's a whole different ball game than a tower. But check with Al and get the scenario, what he thinks has to be done, because it's not as complicated as it would be with a tower.
Oh boy, did I say that? No, to avoid confusion. No, he's not putting up a tower, folks. I'm sorry about that. Al, K9EPC, would you like to clarify that if you would, please?
K9EPC. No, it's not a tower. It's a telescoping push-up pole. Originally was what they call Roan H50, which is a 44-foot telescoping pole. But one of the sections got damaged in the ratio, so that section was cut out of it. And instead of replacing that section farther up, we're putting another section on the bottom to raise the whole thing up, so it'll be up close to the height it used to be at. Because they don't sell, Roan don't sell individual replacement sections. So I talked to another ham who did the same thing to his, and we're putting another section on the bottom. But in order to do that, we have to collapse the whole thing and put it into the new bottom section, and bolt the bottom section back in place, fasten it to the house and whatever, and then be able to pull it all back up and tie the guy lines back.
Okay, I'm trying to be careful so as not to step on anybody. Okay, well, I think you're finally going to get this thing done this Sunday there, Al, so good luck and congratulations. Hey, Richard, N9CO, thank you for checking in. I'm asking everybody, when you were in high school, what was your favorite subject? And what was your least favorite subject that you disliked?
Jimmy, I think I liked them all, and the girls especially. And my least, I don't think I had a least one. Again, like I say, I was glad to get out of the house and do something, and I played sports so I wouldn't have to go home so early at night just to be away from the house, because it was rather boring sitting around waiting to go to school the next day, because I always did my homework in study halls, so I never had any books to take home in 9-0.
Okay, Rich. Hey, that was terrific, man. That really was. That was that was great. I did everything in my power to try to avoid taking home books home for homework, but it never worked out that way. Okay, Richard. Hey, thank you for checking in and enjoy your evening and enjoy your weekend. I guess fall is finally arrived, I regret to say, but maybe we might sneak a few more warm days out of this one. They were saying it was the hottest to start to October in history. That's what they were saying.
Jimmy, after 80 years of being around here, if you don't realize that they're going to come and go and accept them, I guess you got a problem. N9-0.
Yeah, I guess you're right, Richard. Okay, sounds good. Thank you for checking in, Richard. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your weekend. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll read this question one more time. Which of these choices should be observed when climbing a tower using a safety belt or harness? A. Never lean back and rely on the belt alone to support your weight. B. Confirm that the belt is rated for the weight of the climber and that it is within its allowable service life. C. Ensure that all heavy tools are securely fastened to the belt D-ring. D. All of these choices are correct. And to clarify, Al is not putting up a tower. Anybody have the correct answer to this question? Okay. The correct answer is B, Bravo. As you are climbing up or down, remember to take your time. It's not a race. Be sure your climbing gear is fully secure. Let's, okay. This concludes Friday Night Fun Net Trivia for this evening. I'm going to skip the extra class of questions. We'll do it again next week. At this time, any more stations want to check in the Friday Night Fun Net, please call now. Okay, was somebody trying to check in? If so, all I got was a mic click. No audio. Okay, let me give you a rundown of all the other nets we have in the area. In about a half hour, at 10 o'clock, the Night Watch net convenes on the 443.750 repeater in Chicago. That has a PL of 114.8 plus offset. If you cannot get into the repeater, you can get in via the Echolite. That's a Night Watch net. That net runs 7 nights a week, gets underway at 10 o'clock, and sometimes it runs till 11 or 11:30, and it depends on how many check-ins they're available, and it was all net control. Lunch Bunch net meets each and every Friday, Monday through Friday, from 12 to 1 p.m. The swap net is at 12:30 p.m. on the 145.430 repeater in Downers Grove, Illinois. W9DUP DuPage County repeater. It has a PL 107.2 plus minus offset, I should say. There is a Saturday Night Fun Net which meets every Saturday evening at 9 p.m. on the 146.910 repeater in Milwaukee. That is a PL 127.3 minus offset. Again, the conditions were playing havoc, so I was able to hear the net, but I wasn't able to understand what they were saying or what they had. But that's the way it goes. Greene County Aries Races net meets every Sunday evening at 7:30 p.m. on the 145.110 repeater in Monroe. PL of 123.0 minus offset. Scott K9YI is net control. It's a combination Aries Races and the Ragchu net. But that's a good net, folks. Do check that out. The Big Thunder Amateur Radio Club meets this Sunday evening net at 8 p.m. on the 147.375 repeater in Belvedere. That has a PL 100.0 plus offset. Then the Whiteside County Aries Racing Group holds its Sunday evening net at 8:30 p.m. on the 146.850 repeater in Sterling. PL 114.8 minus offset. You should not have any problem getting into that repeater. The antenna is about 200 feet in the air on the Illinois State Police District 1 radio tower. On Monday evenings at 7 p.m., we have the Monday night rah-rah info net. I share and along with Larry K9KCT, share the duties of net control operator. I think we met on this repair this past Monday night, a total of 11 check-ins. At the end of the net, Larry K9KCT has code practice. The Lee County Aries Races Group holds its Monday evening net at 8 p.m. on a 146.970 repeater in Dixon with a PL of 82.5 minus offset. The Kishwaukee Amateur Radio Club holds its Monday evening net at 8:30 p.m. on the 146.730 repeater in DeKalb with a PL 100.0 minus offset. Tuesday evenings, we have the first of the two health and tech nets on the 147.195 repeater. Bill, no. Larry, H9GO is usually the net control on Tuesday night, but he had a rah-rah board meeting via Zoom, so Larry, K9KCT, took the Tuesday evening net, and I do the Thursday evening net at 7 p.m., also on the 195 repeater. We ask everybody how they're doing health-wise, if you have any technical questions. Also at 7 p.m. on the 145.450 repeater in Janesville, PL 123.0 minus offset, the Rock County Public Service Net meets. That's at 7 p.m. I want to see K9 QDP, Rick in Rockford. Are you on the air? I guess not. Okay. Let's see. He has the North American Long Wires net, which meets at 8 p.m. on the 28.390, 10 meters upper sideband. I think he had a good turnout this past Tuesday. So do check out that net. Oh, I forgot to mention, at the end of the Tuesday and Thursdays health tech nets, Larry, K9KCT has a code practice also. At 9 p.m. on the Tuesdays, on the 147.165 repeater in Oregon with PL 146.2 plus offset, the Ogle County Amateur Radio net for Harry Skywarn holds its Tuesday evening net. Let's see, what do I want to say? Oh yeah, Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. here in Freeport on the 147.390 repeater with the PL 114.8 plus offset. We have our Stevenson County Aries net. I am the net control of that net. Also at 7:30 p.m. on the 147.120 repeater in Boyd, PL 123.0 plus offset, Greater Boyd Amateur Radio Club holds its Wednesday evening net.
KC9 CFL calling net control.
8 p.m. Here in Freeport on the 147.390 repeater, PL 114.8 plus offset. We have our Wednesday evening swap net. And Mel N9RPN, the repeater trustee, share the duties of the net control. By the way, Mel is still doing okay, but he's having a problem with his knees. Hopefully that'll be taken care of. He'll be able to get around soon. But he's still recuperating from his back surgery, and he had a bout with COVID. But he's recovered from that, I'm happy to report. But Mel N9RPN braces Amateur Radio Newsline, 15-minute independent news broadcast devoted entirely to amateur radio. Again, our swap net is held from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. to all traffic is handled.
This is KC9 CFL.
KC9 CFL, good evening, Mike. What's going on with you?
Not a lot. Just working, taking care of the family. I did start an iGate and a digipeater. Right now it's not up. It'll be up in another 15 minutes because I'm using the antenna for this radio. I just got another antenna in the mail, so I'll probably be getting that up this weekend so that I'll have a dedicated iGate digipeater. So yeah, kind of exciting. KC9 CFL back to net control.
Okay, Mike, thank you for letting us know about that digipeater. And you can let us know when you get on the air with that thing, you can let us know what frequency you're going to be using. So, okay, sounds good. I'm asking the question tonight, Mike. What was your favorite subject when you were in high school, and what was your least favorite subject?
My favorite subject was music, because I really like to play different instruments. I play 4 different instruments right now. But my worst subject, I couldn't handle biology. It would drive me nuts.
Okay, sounds good. I had that my junior year in high school, and I didn't. I ended up with I think it was a C minus. It was, but I wasn't that big on that either. Okay, Mike, thank you for checking in. Good luck in getting that digit-feeder on there.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. Yeah, it'll be back online in about 10 minutes. It'll be KC9CFL-9 if anybody is into APRS. Anyway, KC9CFL, I am out. Thank you, Jimmy.
You're welcome, Mike. Thank you for checking in. Okay, continuing on with the other nets in the area. Let's see. Chad, WI9HF in Janesville has a simplex net which meets every Thursday evening at 7 p.m. on the 146.400 simplex. And let's see. The fourth Thursday of the month, also at 7 p.m. on the 146.715 repeater in Clinton, Wisconsin, the Rock County Amateur Radio Club has a system of fusion net. So then the senile net is held every day, Monday through Friday, from 1400 to 1500 hours on 14.287 megahertz. 20 meters upper sideband with Chuck, WD9BB. He takes check-ins not only from the local area, but all throughout the good old USA. Okay, now, you're all caught up to date on your local nets. Support your local net control operator, support your local nets, support your local repeaters. You're a member of any ham radio club, by all means, support your local clubs. Okay, any more stations would like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. Okay, let me tell you about the Friday Night Fun Net Central Facebook page. Go to Friday Night Fun Net Central. You see all the lowdown and what you see on here on the Facebook page. I don't know how many people have signed up for it. Brad Smith, I don't know what his call is now. He's gone through so many call signs, it's pathetic. But he's in charge of that. You see up-to-date pictures of my ham shack, thanks to Justin K9FEO. He was here about 3 weeks ago. Took up-to-date pictures. And by the way, you even heard Mike, K9MED is recording this net for October 15th, 2021 for future rebroadcast on the Friday Night Fun Net Facebook page. You can even hear past Friday Night Fun Nets, especially from last week when I asked everybody what their favorite beer was. So you can listen to Friday Night Fun Net every night of the week on the Friday Night Fun Net Facebook page, where every night is Friday night. Okay. You see like I said, you see update pictures of my ham shack, pertinent information about the net. You even see weather information. So, you want to sign up for the Friday Night Fun Net Facebook page? Go to Friday Night Fun Net Central. Check out follow the instructions, and Brad will get you signed up. Okay, any more stations want to check the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. Okay, I want to tell you about the Friday Night Fun Net Central Hotline. Area code 815-232-FN, 232-3636. It's a local Freeport number, and you've seen pictures of it on the, let's see. Just before the net started, I was making an announcement and the phone rang. That was Pat, KF9SD, checked in from Warren, Illinois. If you heard the phone ring earlier, that's a real telephone ring, folks, not that phony baloney cell phone ring. You've seen pictures of it on the Facebook page. It's a conventional red desktop touchstone telephone. So, okay. If you're out in the sticks, you can hear the repeater, but you can't get to it due to conditions or too far away from it. Give me a call on the Friday Night Fun Net hotline. I'll take your check-in over the phone, but try to check it on the radio first. KC9GCR to Friday Night Fun Net on the W9AXT repeater Rockford, transferring for Friday Night Fun Net Central and Freeport. Do we have any more stations you want to check in? Please call now. K9FLO usually checks in about this time. He checked in earlier last week. We'll see what happens, but he usually checks in. Maybe he'll check in before 10 o'clock. Any more stations want to check in? Please call now. Okay, does anybody have any questions, comments, input, or any traffic you'd like to bring before the net this time? Okay, Carrie, K9MAP, are you still listening? Are you still on the air? Okay, he must have had to step away from the radio for a little bit there. Okay, Carrie has a CW net. I forgot to mention, he has it's a Rah-Rah CW net, which takes place every Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. on 7.117 megahertz and 40 meters lower side, CW portion, that's right. I don't know how many stations have participated, but that's a good net, that's a good service that he provides. So those of you who work CW, do check out that Rah-Rah CW net with Kerry, K9MAP. Wednesday evenings at 8 p.m. Okay. Any more stations want to check in the Friday Night Fun net? Please call now.
KC9GCR. This is KC9YI.
KC9YI, this is KC9GCR. Hello, Scott.
Yeah, I can't quite remember if I got my beam pointed just right at you there or not, but anyway, I will give you another check-in here.
Okay, sounds good. You're checking number 23, by the way. When you're sounding great there, of course, being on the repeater, so you shouldn't have no problem getting in.
Yeah, it seems like I'm getting a fairly strong signal on the repeater tonight, and I think I'm pointed where I normally am. So anyway, how's things going?
Things are going fine, Scott. The question tonight, I was asking everybody, when you were in high school, what was your favorite subject? What was the subject you really liked, and what were the subjects that you really hated back then?
I think biology, any of the sciences, I really liked. I liked biology class, geometry, and the mathematics and stuff like that. One thing I could not ever do is spell. I'm a lousy speller, and I have a little trouble with the English language sometimes. Over.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. Anyway, those were my more difficult classes. But I loved the sciences and stuff, and it really helped me when I got into doing lab work there for the cheese company. I always enjoyed science.
That's good, Scott. I'm glad you enjoyed it, that's for sure. What did you do for supper? Did you go out and eat, or did you have to stay home again?
Oh, we were home, but we were visiting quite a while with our company just left, and so I checked my watch right away, and I saw that it was before 10 o'clock, so I thought I could check in.
Okay, sounds good. We usually don't get done with the net till maybe around 10:30 or so. Last Friday night, I should say, we got done at exactly 10:20. But that depends on how many more check-ins I get and what else is happening.
Oh yeah. Well, we get to visiting and stuff, and we kind of talk, and so anyway, we had a nice visit, and I'm glad I could catch the net here yet, and hopefully you'll get a few more check-ins.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Pretty soon I'll probably put down my honorary check-ins. Those stations usually don't check in, but sometimes they check in, other times they don't, but I put them down anyway, so. Okay, Scott, hey, thank you for checking the Friday Night Fun Net. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your weekend. We'll catch you on your net on Sunday night.
Real good, Jim. You take care, and we'll look for you Sunday. KC9GCR, this is KC9YI clear.
Okay, that was Scott, KC9YI, net control of the Greene County Aries Races Net, which meets every Sunday evening at 7:30 p.m. on the 145.110 repair in Monroe with PL 123.0 minus offset. Combination Aries Races and Ragtune Net. Okay, any more stations would like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net this time? Please go on. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do right now, we're going to do the amateur's code. The amateur is considerate. He never knowingly uses the air in such a way as to lessen the pleasure of others. The amateur is loyal. He offers his loyalty, encouragement, and the support to his fellow radio amateurs, his local club, and the American Radio Relay League to which amateur radio is represented. The amateur is progressive. He keeps his station abreast of science. It is well built and efficient. His operating practice is above reproach. The amateur is friendly, slow and patient sending when requested, friendly advice and counsel to the beginner, kindly assistance, cooperation, and consideration for the interests of others. These are marks of the amateur spirit. The amateur is balanced. Radio is his hobby. He never allows it to interfere with any of his duties he owes in his home, his job, his school, or his community. The amateur is patriotic. His knowledge and his station are always ready for the service of his country and his community. That's the amateur's code. As Tony, N-I-A-R-B, used to say, it's something to not only live by on the radio, but throughout life itself. Okay, at this time, we have 8 more stations who'd like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net. Please go on now. Sorry about the delay, folks, here, but I was trying to get my put some of my papers away and what have you. So, okay, 8 more stations want to check in this time. Please go on out. Oh boy, I think that concludes our main business for the evening. But we're not going to shut the net down just yet. I want to wait and see if Dean K9FLO checks in, and I'll do my honorary check-ins. So I think what I'm going to do, if anybody wants to do some rag chewing, we will do that. Otherwise, we'll stand by and pick up any other check-ins. This is K9GCR Net Control of the Friday Night Fun Net. Anybody wants to pick it up and rag chew, go ahead. This is KC9GCR with the Friday Night Fun Net on the W9AXD repeater route. We're transferring from Friday Night Fun Net Center in Freeport. Do we have any more stations you want to check in? Please go on.
KC9GCR, N9NQD. What's my number?
9NQD, hello, Arthur, you're checking number 24.
Oh, it's a light week. Light Friday night. Certainly a cold one, I'll say that darn much. Supposed to get down to 40. Some places 30, 33, I guess. Been sleeping most of the afternoon, and I remembered this. Thought I'd better check in.
Yeah, thanks for checking in, Art. I was waiting to see if Dean at K9FLO would check in. He usually, he almost always checks in about this time. He might be doing something else. He might have something else going on too.
Yeah, he just might. Doggone it, I hope he's alright. Yeah. Got some kind of a theme this Friday?
Yeah, I was asking everybody, what's your favorite, back you were in high school, what was your favorite subject you liked, and what was the least favorite subject? What was the subject you hated the most?
Subject that I hated the most? Well, I don't know so much as I hated it as I flunked it. I took a semester of French and didn't do so very good at it. But the subject I liked the most, well, I guess it turned out to be history. And for a number of reasons, many and varied. We need to study history, lest we are doomed to repeat it.
Boy, ain't that the truth. I'm going to tell you what, I don't think it is not being taught like it should be in the schools. You are definitely right about that.
It's definitely not taught like it used to be taught. And you had to answer questions of the Declaration and that, and these days it is just forgotten, or I don't know, it's convoluted at best, but c'est la vie. I guess that's the thing about changing of the times. They can get on with whatever they're most good at, most best at, that sort of thing. I don't deny anything on that. It's just that you should learn about history because it does repeat itself. And the things that have happened, even during World War II, it is best lesson taught, I think, to be studied.
Yes, I agree with you wholeheartedly. That definitely needs. What they say, if you don't you don't remember what do I want to say here? If you don't know your history, you're condemned to repeat it.
That's exactly right. And part of that was, well, I'd say for the fact of the people that were in those concentration camps, if they had all just banded together and uprised against them, they could have gotten out of there. But it wasn't to be. But, oh, so much for preaching on that. Well, I'm going to probably listen a little bit longer. Good to hear you tonight. Going to be a cold weekend. I know that. Some outlying area is going to be frost on the pumpkin.
Yeah, that's for sure. I heard on the weather tonight. This was the hottest start to October in recorded history. So that's the way it goes. And Alex Kirchner was saying That's probably what be in the coming years with the climate change. We're going to have more hotter autumns. That'd be okay with me.
Well, I don't know. I couldn't prove it by me per se, but the North Polar Cap is melting. They still had cooler temperatures down in the south, though. 110 degrees below zero. But, yeah, all that water's got to go somewhere. And, William Shatner, you know, he just got shot up in space, 90 years old, oldest astronaut. He really enjoyed it. I got a kick out of watching him on TV talking about it, and he also stated that Florida looked like it was going to be probably half underwater, and California, they're going to have problems. But, oh, what can you do? We'll see what happens. That's all we can do. Yep.
Yeah, Art, that's for sure. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Yeah, I watched that whole thing here from the liftoff till he came down. I saw that interview with him. That was great. Okay, Art, hey, thank you for checking the Friday Night Fun Net. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your weekend. Hope we will talk to you next Friday night.
Thank you much. Number 21, check. N9NQD workwear.
Number 24. Yeah, number 24. Okay. Let's see if a Dean K9FLO comes in. We'll be checking number 25. Dean, are you there? Well, I may have to put him down as an honorary check-in. So, okay, we'll see what happens. We have any more stations while checking the Friday Night Fun Net, please call now. Okay. I want to thank the Rah-Rah Board of Trustees, Board of Directors, and especially, let's see, Larry H9GO, the Rah-Rah Board President, and Kurt K9N, the Repeater Chairman, for allowing me to use this repeater to host the Friday Night Fun Net. I want to thank everybody who's checked in. I'll tell you what, I think I'm going to run down the list of the stations that have checked in so far, starting with my one and only early bird check-in and hotline check-in. KF9SG Pad, Warren, Illinois, my early bird check-in, who also checked on the Friday Night Fun Net hotline. 89VU, K9 JL Tim, W99WTF Tom, K9KCT Larry, the king of the CW, K9QBE, K9QBB Brian, and K9HKX Lauren Roscoe, K9MED was recording this net for future rebroadcast Friday Night Fun Net Facebook page. AC9NW, N9GBP, K9QPL, myself, K9GCR, net control, K9MAP, N9CNW, Mark and Rockford, K9RGG, Norman, Orfordville, Wisconsin, K9GOL, Jimmy, KG9SBA, K9DDF, John and Elgin, K9EPC, Al and Rochelle. He's probably getting ready. He's probably already on 4.750, listening to the, getting ready to listen to the Night Watch. N9CO, Richard and Belvedere, thank you for checking in. K9CFL, Mike and Rockford, get that digital repeater on the air. K9YI, Scott Monroe, and last but certainly not least, N9NQD, Art and Rockford. My one early bird check-in. Let me reset. With my one and only early bird check-in, I see we've got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23 on-air check-ins, one early bird check-ins, leaves a grand total of 24 check-ins. Do we have any more stations while checking the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. This is KC9GCR with the Friday Night Fun Net on the W9XT repeater Rockford, transferring for Friday Night Fun Net Central in Freeport. It is now 10 p.m. curfew time. Parents, do you know where your children are at? Lockdown, lockdown. That's what's taking place at the Winnebago County Jail right now. They're locking it down. That's what Kerry, K9MAP, told me when he was on the way home here from the CFMC Hamfest. That he was listening to VHF, UHF frequencies on the scanner. He's monitoring the jail frequencies. He said that's what they said at 10 o'clock. Lockdown. That's what's going on right now in the Winnebago County Jail. Okay, at this time, are there any more stations who want to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and put down and do my honorary check-ins. I don't know what happened with the dean. Hopefully he didn't forget. I'm going to, okay. Tony, N9ARB. Tony, HC. And his better after Tracy. N9TAB. HC for honorary check. And we mustn't forget the Kishwaukee River Yacht Club south of Rockford. A9 Sugar Fox Scott at the beautiful Kishwaukee River Yacht Club. All right, let's see now. 190 already checked in, so let's see. I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to put down WX9RLT Richard HC honorary check. Okay, let's see. KD9LOA, Brandon. And, okay, HC honorary checking. KD9OVJ, John and McConnell, HC honorary checking. That's a total of 30 check-ins. I got six honorary check-ins. At this time, do we have any more stations who'd like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. Okay, I'll tell you what. Be sure you tell your mothers, your fathers, your sons and daughters, your brothers and sisters, your aunts and uncles, your nieces, your nephews, your grandparents, your in-laws, your neighbors across the street, down the street, next door. Be sure you tell your butcher and your baker and your candlestick maker. Be sure you tell the clerk behind the checkout counter at your grocery store. Be sure to tell the clerk behind the counter at your convenience store or at your Dollar General or Casey's or Walmart or wherever. Be sure you to tell your bartenders, waiters, and waitresses at your friendly neighborhood bars, restaurants, taverns, or pubs. Be sure you tell the members of your local PTA or PTO. When you go to the post office to buy stamps, be sure to tell the clerk behind the counter. Be sure you tell your used car dealer, your new car dealer, your garage mechanic. Be sure you tell your banker, your stockbroker, your bank president. You tell your priests, your ministers, your rabbis, your mullahs, your ayatollahs, and your imams. Sure you tell your probation officer, your parole officer, your divorce lawyer. Sure you tell your boyfriends, your girlfriends, your ex-boyfriends, your ex-girlfriends, your husbands, your wives, your ex-husbands, your ex-wives, your ex-in-laws, and of course your old ladies about the Friday Night Fun Net. The more check-ins, the better than that. Make sure you have a valid FCC license before you check in. Sorry, folks, we do not take check-ins from jailbirds, jammers, potty mouths, crackheads, dopeheads, potheads, telemarketers, if you take a knee during a sporting event, we don't take your check-ins. You don't back the blue, we don't take your check-ins. That's you burn the U.S. flag, we don't take your check-ins. That's all there is to it. Okay. Any more stations want to check in the Friday Night Fun at this time? Please call now. Well, folks, I'll tell you what. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and close this net down. I don't see anybody else on here. Of course, if anybody, I'll tell you what. I'm going to be monitoring the repeater in case I pick up any late bird check-ins. Justin K9FEO checked in late last Friday night. He was my very last check-in. So we'll keep monitoring this repeater. We'll stand by for any late bird check-ins. Okay. I want to thank everybody for checking in. It was a great subject tonight. What was your favorite subject while you were in high school? What was your least favorite subject in high school? That was great. After a discussion that took place on the 195 repeater last night, I decided that's what I'm going to do. Okay. This is the last call for any stations who want to check in the Friday Night Fun Net from anywhere in the region. With route traffic, please call K9 GCR. Last call for Ratchet Jaw. Okay, this concludes the Friday Night Fun Net for this Friday, October 15, 2021. I want to thank Mike K9MED for recording this net. Tune in again next week, same time, same repeater, we hope, for another edition of the Friday Night Fun Net. Until then, this is Jim, K9 GCR. Now closing down this Friday, October 15, 2021 edition of Friday Night Fun Net, and return the repeater and the frequency of normal amateur radio use at 10:08 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Let's see, that would be 3 hours 8 minutes of Zulu time, with a grand total of 30 check-ins. This net is now closed, and the repeater is now open for normal amateur radio use. 7-3s, everybody. Have a good evening. Enjoy your weekend. This is K9 GCR saying 7-3s to all, and to all a good night.